Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Where are we? Well, we're heading from Pissouri. Yes, we ventured over into the Limassol district. Just popped up to see a chap, stolen his car as usual, and we're going to take it back to the workshop. So stick with us. Oof, bit of a pothole coming up. Ouch! There you go, lady oh so sweet Caroline. Get your bottom on a memory foam pillow. And just before you do, pour a tot or two for the man known as Lord Nigel Big Guns. Spectacular day. Absolutely beautiful. The temperature is ramping up, that's for sure. If your name is Miss Dawn, you got a husband called Mr. Sean, you got a cat that you stole from downtown Cyprus a while back called Miss Daisy, and of course a spectacular dog called Bobo. Well, the temperature today is in and around 25 degrees. Yes, just after the Cypriot Easter weekend. And well, it's ramping up, that's for sure. That sky's looking blue. I promise you, when I looked out this morning, the sea was looking very, very blue indeed. Mr. Paul, well, as tradition goes, he's dressed head to toe in blue. So all that's actually missing is you. Get yourself on a big bird or a canoe. Start paddling like crazy because, well, I promise you, Cyprus is quite simply waiting for you. So this is the old road, by the way, from Pissouri back to Paphos. And very shortly you're going to get some spectacular views out across that blue Mediterranean Sea, and we're going to go past the Aphrodite's Rock, which has a bit of a fable going with it. If you swim round that rock 3 times, apparently, as the saying goes, if you're a lady that is, you end up pregnant. There we go. So if you want a baby, come down to Paphos, swim round that rock 3 times, and as the saying goes, you will end up with a little one 9 months later. I've got other theories, but we won't go into those because, of course, it's a family channel. So we're getting ready for that descent, and I promise you, the view is quite simply to die for. Once this rock formation opens up, you're going to get a view that's going to take your breath away. Now let's go and check in with the breakfast crew. Let's see who we're transporting around today, shall we say, with the retro voice, as Lady Caroline says. She's put me back in the 70s. I don't even think she was alive in the 70s, but there you go. She must have been having a listen when she was in her mother, well, but a twinkle in her mother's eye, maybe. So here we go. It's coming up very, very shortly. Just the landscape and the rock formations alone are enough to take your breath away. It's a beautiful part of Paphos, and I say to everyone, if you're in Paphos, perhaps if you have access to a car, or you can hire a car, or even on little electric scooters, although it's a little bit far to come on an electric scooter. But this is the road that runs parallel to the highway. This is the old Pissouri to Paphos, or Paphos to Pissouri road. Depends which way you're going, doesn't it? But once we come round this little bend, I promise you, you're going to get a spectacular view indeed. So wait for it. Here we go. Clean the glasses off. Look at that. Wow. Absolutely spectacular. And this descent continues, and then it crescendos as we get towards the Aphrodite's Rock. Then we'll go out towards Aphrodite Hills Resort, and then past the Venus Rock Secret Valley Resort, and then of course on our trek back to Paphos. So Mr. Ian of Ian the Butcher fame, with the most beautiful lady in downtown Frodsham, Miss Beverly. If you're watching, this could be your route home from downtown Pissouri to that rather nice villa that you're looking at up in the Venus Rock area, or as us locals call it, Secret Valley. And some of the views you get out here are spectacular, and there's lots of private coves, and I mean very, very private indeed, and it's cove after cove. So get yourself a little 4-wheel drive, or park up on the roadside perhaps and walk down. But there's plenty of privacy down here to get that all over suntan if that's what you want. And this road, by the way, has had massive improvements over the last year or so, because it did technically collapse. One of the problems of building a coastal road, isn't it? Anywhere in the world, it's called erosion, and of course the rock formations underneath in the footing, should we say, erode, and then slowly but surely the road starts to collapse. So it's an ever-ending battle. Same in the UK, same in south of France, Spain, and of course the same problem applies to the coastal roads in downtown Cyprus. In this case, Paphos, and some beautiful viewpoints. And you can see there some people have parked up, and they are feasting their eyes and digesting out across the blue Mediterranean Sea. Now back to the sofas. Let's go and have a look. Let's see who's in town today. We always know that Dame Anne's with us. She's sitting there on the sofa dictating and giving commands and telling everyone what to do. And of course sitting next to her checking the legalities is the one and only Star, and her name is Anastar. She's coming to Paphos very, very soon, so we're going to get to Chachki dance down the Gate of Paphos Promenade with her husband and her son, of course. And who else is in town? Well, on the arms of the girls we've got the Ronnies. We've got Viking Ronnie all the way out in Denmark, originally from Israel, and we've got the one and only superstar, the chief constable of all the policings on the little channel known as Marika and me, and of course that is Ronnie Miller. A very, very good morning to you. And he's up in Bonnie, Scotland, and hopefully the weather is treating you that little bit kinder, Ronnie, or hopefully you're planning on getting on a big bird and coming out to downtown Paphos. Forgive the, well, inulations in the road surface. That's where some parts of it are starting to collapse, but very, very quickly now we're approaching the famous area known as Venus. Well, this one's called Aphrodite's Rock. Sorry, next it's Venus Rock. So Aphrodite's Rock. You've got a massive car parking area and a, well, cafe restaurant where you can get some refreshments and buy some gifts and that sort of stuff. But that's the rock there on the left hand side. And as tradition goes, there's one or two people standing on top of it, feasting their eyes and digesting on the spectacular views across the milkiest, lakey blue Mediterranean Sea today. Great view and a great temperature, and a great place to come. And many people come out here year after year. Ness and Andy of Ness and Andy's Travels, they intend to come out here in September and well, refamiliarise themselves with the area, because it is a very nice area to come, and it's a great place to gather your thoughts, shall we say. Now we're going to start on our descent towards the area known as Aphrodite Hills, and then it'll be Venus Rock, and then of course we'll be on our descent back to Paphos town on a spectacular day indeed. This little area here on the left is what's called the picture framing area. So there's like some steel picture frames where you can stand in front of them with the beautiful blue Mediterranean Sea to the rear, and you get a great picture postcard to send home to your mum, your dad, your dog or your cat. Some more superstars in town. Well, let's have a quick look. Lord Richard, Lady Julie Nash, and of course my little mate, who's not that little, the Viking. Could be a Viking actually. He's big enough to be a Viking. Let's get him a little ship, because we know his mate Sean Broad wants a big boat. Anyway, Viscount Leo, a very good morning to you, and to Sean Broad, who is monkeying around in the back of Lord Richard's Defender. He's putting in some night lights, and while he's at it, arranging himself as a pillow so that the superstar dog known as Mr. Blue can relax and cuddle up in the back when he's on his travels with his owner, Lord Richard. And what a dog he is, by the way. Spectacular dog indeed. He's up there with a dog called Bobo. I think those two dogs could be great friends, and of course they both understand that their owners, or their friends shall we say, own one of those gangster mobiles, a Land Rover Defender or two. I want to do a big shout out. He's told me he's going to do a comment, but I was accosted while I went to the Atlas coffee shop by a gentleman who lives up in Camaras, and he's told me he's going to put a comment in, so we'll get his wife's name and his name, and we'll give them a live shout out in a video very soon. It's very unusual when you park up outside a coffee shop and someone gets all excited and says, "Hello, Mr. Paul," but it was great chatting to you. It really was, and hopefully we'll meet again very soon, because now and again, well, I do like to frequent the Atlas coffee shop. In fact, I go there twice a day. I believe it's the best coffee shop in the whole Paphos, and it's at the crossroads for Messahoyo village and Tremathusa village, and it's just down from the Papa Antonio bakery on the corner, just before you start your ascent up towards Tasada. Probably the greatest coffee shop in the whole of Paphos, in our opinion. Anyway, there's a few more views coming up because this is a spectacular road. So if you do get to borrow a car, steal a car, hire a car, or perhaps someone like myself loans you a car, this is a very nice trek. Stay off the highway, you can get done for speeding on there. But I've never seen a boy in blue on this road unless he's meandering along with a cigarette in one hand and a frappe in the other. And it's a nice tranquil road. And well, treat the other drivers with respect. Don't speed. Stick to about 50 to 60 kilometres an hour and enjoy the views. And look for those special places to stop. Go for a dismount and have a look out over the blue Mediterranean Sea, because it's a beautiful part of Paphos. And well, some of it, as I say, is actually in Limassol itself. If you venture out to Pissouri, some people may think that Pissouri is in Paphos district. It's not. It's actually halfway, 25 kilometres away from Paphos town, and a further 25 kilometres to Limassol. Very popular place. There's a British base just up the road and a huge expat population living there. I think it's about 4,000 population, well, official registered population, and around about 2,000 of those are foreign nationals, primarily British nationals. So let's keep going a bit further, and I'm going to tell you how the channel is funded, by the way. So if you do like these little videos, want to go through to our about page where you could consider to buy us a coffee or two, and if you want a special video made with your name on it, for example, if you want to go and have a sit with your neighbour and have a cup of tea, well, you drop in the comments, hit the buy me a coffee once, twice, 3 times, and guess what? That video can be made especially for you. So this is the entrance up to Venus Rock, Secret Valley. So that's where you'll be taking a right turn, Mr. Ian the Butcher, and you go up in your Bugatti Veyron to your spectacular villa up in the downtown Secret Valley area of Paphos. We're going to crisscross under the highway and final straight, and that's going to take us to Cooklia. We're not going to go into the village itself, but that's where, if you want a supermarket, your closest supermarket in this area will be, and there's a couple of tavernas, and I think there's a museum and all those sorts of things, and a good golf shop as well, so I'm told. So if you can't find those golfing bits in the golf shops on the Secret Valley Golf Shop, there's a further golf shop in Cooklia Village without the need for you to go into Paphos. And there's also a few gardening areas around here. There's lots of nurseries on this particular road, 3 or 4 to be precise, and there's the first one there. So this is the final straight before we get to Cooklia Village, and as we keep going along here, you're going to come to a very expat-ish, shall we say, focused supermarket as well on the side of the road when we get to Mandrea, and it sells pretty much everything you could ever want. And also you've got Mandrea Village. Mr. Paul lives in Mandrea. He's got a blue Audi, and him and his wife relocated to Cyprus, Paphos now, what, 6 months ago. I remember making a video for him late last summer at the Alvida Hotel, where they were going to stay for 3 or 4 weeks last year. But now they're living in downtown Mandrea, and he's got a blue Audi A3, and now and again he pops into the harbour, and one of these days we're going to cross paths again, that's for sure. So spectacular day, and I'm going to say thanks for watching, and of course if you do like what you see, why not hit the like, click subscribe, and perhaps come back for that little bit more of my complete and utter insanity.